there are some details that you have to know about MyFundedFutures, and these are game changers, especially if you're just transitioning from the Forex prop firms, or maybe you're already in the futures trading, but these small details can make a whole lot difference. So stick with me in this video, because I guarantee these things do matter. But first of all, let me say that, of course, I like MyFundedFutures, and I think this prop firm is amongst the top 3 or top 5 in the space. So, but these small details are definitely putting them on a higher scale. First of all, but this is just going to be real fast, they have the end of day trailing drawdown, which is a good thing. I'm not going to say names, but we all know that there are some big names out there who are using the intraday trailing drawdown, which is, for me, it's not a big deal, but I know for many of you guys it is a big deal. But for now, of course, static accounts are coming as well, and MyFundedFutures made a huge step, and they're doing static accounts every now and then, and they are really, you know, changing the whole game. But the end of day trailing drawdown is really something that puts this prop firm on a higher scale, and it actually goes to static after a certain of time, because on a 50K account your drawdown locks in at $2,100. At a 100K account it locks in at $3,100, and on 150K your drawdown locks in at $4,600. So basically from that moment on, it goes like a static account. So it's very simple. There's lots of explanation how this works, but definitely the end of day balance gives you a much bigger room, especially if you're trading bigger size, which I don't usually advise for you to do, especially if you're starting out. But let's move on to the more important stuff, and it's the better risk management, and that's why I really love MyFundedFutures. Now, the most important rule is the starter account MinitoMicro ratio is 1 to 10, while the expert account gives you a MinitoMicro ratio at 1 to 1, which means on an expert account, for example, on a 100K account, you can go with 10 minis or 10 micros. Now, there's a huge difference when you're managing positions. I don't want to say names again, but we all know that there are some other prop firms who only let you to trade with 2 micros when you get funded. Okay, so that makes you a little bit difficult, for example, on a 50K account, to manage positions properly. Many times you are forced to take 1 mini contract. For example, if you just want to, for example, you're trading NASDAQ and you just want to go for like at least a 1-to-1 trade on a 50K account, and you're forced to trade with 1 mini, like a few $100s can go easily against you with 1 mini contract. But I want to say that the starter account is a special one here at MyFundedFutures. With the 1 to 10 ratio, it really gives you all the freedom you need to calculate your position size, to manage risk properly, even on a funded stage. So I was asking about this on Discord, and so here it is. So I was asking, on the starter, the ratio is 1 to 1, okay, which means even on the 50K account, if you get funded on the starter, you can open, for example, 10 micros. You can go with 10 micros. And I'm telling you, on a 50K account, 10 micros is a game changer. And I know there are other prop firms who don't let you to trade more than 2 or 3 micros on a 50K fresh funded account. Yes, you can scale in, but guys, this right here, what you're looking at, is a huge game changer, right? So going with micros lets you to calculate your positions much better accordingly to your risk management. While if you are forced to go with minis, especially on a smaller account like on a 50K account, it's going to give you problems. So be aware of that. And it's a little bit interesting because first, when I found this out and I tried to open some accounts. I thought that the expert account should do this. I mean, I was expecting this from the expert account, but it's not like that. It's quite the opposite. So I know it sounds weird, but I would put this option for the expert account, but instead you get it on the starter account, which is of course good because it's cheaper. But a better trade and risk management comes by letting you to trade with more micros. Trust me on this one. This is one of the best ways to manage these accounts if you can have more micros, not just with 2 or with 3, okay? Especially if you're aiming for like 10 points, 15 points. I'm not saying scalping, but still, right? And the other one, I know it's just a small segment, but let's talk about the payouts.
All right, guys, I just teleported out from the office to the street to tell you that we're gonna have a MyFundedFutures giveaway next Wednesday, which is going to be the 10th of April. So the 10th of April, Wednesday, it's gonna be in the New York session. So all you have to do is there's a link in the description. Just, fill it out. You have to give your email address. Click on the link. Register for an account at MyFundedFutures. Is free. You don't have to buy anything. Just register for an account. Use the link. Type in your email and your name. And we're going to have a wheel spin on the live stream in New York session next week, Wednesday. All right? The 10th of April. All right? Continue with the video.
Fast payouts. Now, this tweet is from MyFundedFutures. MyFundedFutures distinguishes itself as the only prop firm that instantly removes funds from your account upon payout request, unlike other firms that take 14 days hoping you'll lose your profits. Now let's dive into this because it's also important. Again, I'm not going to say names here, but other prop firms, like if you reach your payout threshold, even if you request your payout, you have to wait. I mean, your profits are going to be on your account balance maybe for 10 days, 2 weeks, 14 calendar days until you reach that day, and they are going to be deducted from your balance. But you see, the problem with this is, of course, you want to continue trading, and of course, losses can happen anytime. And we are all a little bit greedy. We want to make more. And imagine if that you're reaching your profit target and you still have to wait like 10 more days until the payout, and you want to continue to trade. Chances are high that you are going to lose profits there, right? Or even worse, you can just go down below the safety threshold, and guess what? Your payout is going to be denied. Because by that time, when you reach your payout day, they're just going to send an email like, sorry, but you went below the threshold. Now, this at MyFundedFutures, I'm not saying it's instant like in that second, but usually they deduct your profit from your balance in 24 to 72 hours. But I was asking around Discord and from traders who are getting regular payouts, it's usually within 24 hours is deducted. So it's a very, very good deal from MyFundedFutures. Again, some prop firms are leaving the profit on your account until that specific calendar day. And that's not good. Mentally, psychologically, it's an edge. It's an edge against the traders. And I know it's a small details, but trust me, guys, this one counts big time. All right. So let's move forward. Oh yeah, the consistency rule. Well, I get this all the time. Like, oh my God, but MyFundedFutures has a consistency rule on the starter account, not on the expert account. Okay. So no, the expert account is I mean, it's great. It doesn't have any consistency rule, but the starter account, it has a 40% consistency rule. I mean, come on, man. I mean, for example, if your profit target for the on a 50K account, for example, is $3,000, and that means that your biggest profitable day should not be greater than 40% of all the other profitable days added together. I mean, really, that means that you have to make at least around $1,200, right? So $1,200 profit in one given day, if your profit target is $3,000, right? So, but I say this: if you're trading on a 50K account, why would you even want to go above $1,000 profit on a funded account? Why? Of course, because we're all gamblers and we want to make more. But if you make $200, $300 on a 50K account, and I'm not even talking about the 100 here on a 150K account, but if you make $200 or $300 on any given day, why do you want to continue to push it over to $1,200? Why? It's useless. So if you really think about it, if you're consistent and you're consistently building up those profits, like $100, $200, $300 a day on average, and maybe you have some losing days as well, does it really matter, the consistency rule? I say to you, like, if they would have a 10% consistency rule, I wouldn't even care about that too. Like on a 50K account, for example, but even on 100K, 150, who cares? 40% consistency rule doesn't matter, so forget about it. Very important. So I say this. Now in this video, I know I'm talking a lot about the starter account, but I think it's many times overlooked. An expert account is great because it's really for traders who have experience and they want to go with the big, more contracts or taking big risks. But with the starter account, if you're a turtle trader, it can be just as fine. All right. And last but not least, if you want to use the best discounts, you can also use the code here. We still have, at the recording of this video and by publishing it, we still have a discount on the starter accounts, 30% off. But the thing that matters is, I think you have all the benefits that you need with MyFundedFutures. Not just the end of day trailing drawdown. The payout policy is very good. The risk management is very good. I mean, you're able to do a proper risk management. And guys, that's why I think they deserve to be at least in the top 3 of these futures prop firms up there. And that's why I'm especially affiliated with them too. So not just with them. Can they go down? Can they go broke? Of course, any of these prop firms can go down any moment. So I'm always saying don't put your eggs in one basket. But so far, I'm very satisfied with them. The customer support is great. The platform is great. Everything is working fine. So yeah, go look them up. And by the way, at the making of this video, there is a giveaway. Check out the forum below and subscribe to the channel. And we're giving away more accounts in the future from MyFundedFutures too. And check the streams, and I'm live every day. Thank you so much, and like the video, subscribe, and see you guys on the live streams.